I ended up in coffee really by accident, happy accident, I would say. My wife, a girlfriend at the time, and I were both journalists, and she got a job working for a coffee magazine. And at the time, I didn't even drink coffee. So I really wasn't involved in coffee at all. She got really involved with the barista community, and she came home one day and was feeling really frustrated with her job. And she said, you know, I think we should start a magazine for baristas. And I too was feeling frustrated with being a freelancer. And I said, that sounds like a great idea. And so we decided to do it. You know, having a knowledgeable barista that can engage the customer and be able to relay some of that story of coffee is very important. Delivering a delicious coffee for the consumer is fundamental. If you don't, if you're a specialty coffee shop and you're charging, $2 or $3 or I don't know, $5 or $10 for a cup of coffee, you really have to deliver something about that that's going to be memorable and exceptional. Because a generic consumer thinks, a cup of coffee, why should it cost more than $1? So to deliver an exceptional experience, you need a welcoming space, a place that people feel good in, that is inviting to the senses, that's comfortable to be in. The fundamental thing to me that makes a difference is the barista knowing what they're doing and then delivering on that promise to the customer of a great coffee, an experience and a flavor that they'll remember. Origin plays a very important role. Without origin, there's no coffee. So it's fundamental. One of the things about coffee that I love the most is the way that it really knits the world together. For the most part, coffee has to come to us from someplace far away. And the different origins provide a lot of character for the coffee. They provide the story of the coffee, and the story of the coffee is one of the most compelling things about it. It connects me as a consumer in some place like Portland, Oregon, with a person who works here in Colombia in a region that does a tremendous amount of labor, takes a tremendous amount of sacrifice and risk on my behalf to create that coffee, which then comes to me. You know, there are many steps in the chain along the way, but the fundamental first one is the origin and the community and the farmer and the picker there. There was one specific time back when my wife was just starting in coffee, and we went to visit her family in Berkeley, California. And we went into a coffee shop to get a coffee. And at the time I was like, I just want a coffee. Well, what kind of coffee do you want? What do you mean? I just want a coffee. And they said, well, we have a menu of, I think they had 12 or maybe 20 different coffees. And I felt a little overwhelmed, but I just said, I'll try the Ethiopian. And they said, okay, how do you want it prepared? I'm like, I don't know, I just want a coffee. And they said, well, we suggest you have it as pour over. So that sounds great then. I tried it and I was blown away because it was like no coffee I'd ever tried before. Completely different flavor, completely different profile. And I had no idea coffee could taste differently. I thought coffee was coffee. I would like to be in a position where I could tell the story of coffee. I like to tell I like to tell stories. I'm a writer. I like the story of coffee because, as I said before, it's a story that connects the world together. Coffee is the second most traded commodity in the world after oil. With my coffee, I can know something about everybody that was involved with it, no matter if it comes from Africa or South America. I can have a connection to the person who grew that coffee, who processed that coffee, milled it, who roasted it. I can know something about that whole story. Is a substance that creates community that ties the whole world together. And you can tell when I start talking about it, I really love that story.